Hey guys, Orly here, founder of LifeVestInside, and I want to thank each and every one of you for deciding to kick off your week with me on the weekly Kindness Kickoff with Orly, where I do reading from my book, Kindness Boomerang, How to Save the World and Yourself Through 365 Daily Acts. And then I give you, myself, and all of us out there an exciting kindness challenge based on the reading. For those of you that may not have a copy of the book and you want to follow along, you could grab your copy either on the LifeVestInside website. Unfortunately, it still is down. I apologize. I'm hoping that everything is going to be up by next week. I've been working really tirelessly to get things rolling, and I can't wait for you guys to see the new website. Or you could pick it up on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, IndieBound, iTunes, Target. It makes for a great gift not only for yourself, but also for a friend. The book itself is broken into 365 days. Every single day, one page. So for those of you that are not very avid readers, this also will work really well for you. For each day of the year, there's an act of kindness, an inspirational quote, and then a short reflection on the power of paying it forward, giving you simple and tangible ways to incorporate kindness into your everyday life and start seeing the amazing opportunities that exist around you. Today, because today is April 1st, in the beginning of every month, for those of you that have been following along, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. 2 books of the Kindness Boomerang book are going to be given away to one very lucky fan at the end of this video. How do you get a copy of the book? Simply by engaging on the channel, liking the video, leaving a comment, sharing your thoughts or your views on the actual channel itself. So I'm really excited to announce that, and I'll be shouting out a couple of other comments that really were very, very touching for me. I want to just send out an apology. Over the course of this month, things have been insanely nutty for me, and I do answer every single comment, but I am a bit behind. So if I've not responded to your comment, not to worry, I will be getting there, but I just wanted to just put that out there. So jumping right into the reading for this week, it comes to us from April 7th, and the act goes as follows. You are your biggest critic. Quiet the negative, discouraging voices in your head, telling you you can't. You most certainly can, because you are amazing just the way you are. And the quote by Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And the reflection. The truth is what you proclaim. Your negative thoughts can have a way of destroying you. Don't allow them to occupy your mind, to occupy your heart, or to occupy your soul. Bet on yourself a bit more for everyone's sake. Your successes are everyone's successes. We are all connected. So when I was flipping through the pages, and I always say that it seems to be very funny every time I go through the pages, and I go through it that morning to determine what's going to be the act that I'm going to focus on for this week. And so as I was flipping through the pages, this one really spoke out the most. And I think it's because not just of myself or being very critical of myself, which I definitely have been, but also a lot of people that are around me. I've seen that happen and come about a lot over this past week. People continuously looking at the negative, not looking at other people's negative, looking at their own negative. How come I haven't advanced yet in my job? Or how come I'm not better at this thing? Or how come I still haven't found, my partner in life? Or how come, again, how come? And we continuously look at ourselves and point at, wow, we must have done this wrong, we've done that wrong, and the other thing wrong. Here's the problem with focusing on the negativity. Now, everybody can improve, everyone. There's no such thing as getting to the point where we're all perfect and it's all good. We can always improve at every single moment. But the problem is that if we only focus on the negative, the gap between where we are and where we want to get to, we forget to see the successes that we've made along the way. And it's those successes, it's those positive moments that actually infuse us with an energy to want to do more. This is, like I've said many times, the concept of the to-do list, right? When you create a to-do list, so many people out there, those of you that love making to-do lists, why do we love creating to-do lists? We love scratching off something from that list. Sometimes to the point where we've just accomplished something and we look at our list and we see, oh my goodness, I forgot to write that on the list. And we write it on the list and we cross it right off. Why do we do that? We do that because we enjoy being able to feel accomplished. This idea of success. So we need to do the same thing in our own life. If we're constantly looking at what we haven't done, this is still on the list and that's still on the list, it puts us in this negative state of mind that doesn't actually make us want to get out of bed. If you wake up in the morning and already you're feeling down, like, oh my goodness, there's so much I have to accomplish. How am I going to be able to possibly tackle this day? The likelihood is you're going to keep hitting the snooze button. Keep heading to sleep. Another 10 minutes, another 10 minutes. What you're really essentially doing is you're digging yourself deeper and deeper into this hole. You're making it harder for yourself to get out. Why? Because you're criticizing yourself. It's as though you're betting on yourself to fail. As though you want yourself to fail. It's about proving to yourself, look at how not great I am. And look at how great other people are. Every person, myself included, falls into this trap every so often. We all do. We all do. So if you happen to be there today, if you happen to be there right now, don't kill yourself for the fact that you're there. It's okay. It's okay to be there at some points. It's okay. It's about being able to pick yourself back up. Understand that the more that you keep hitting that snooze button, the more you keep ignoring moving forward because you're constantly looking at what you haven't done, the harder it's going to be to pick yourself back up and get out of that pit. Get out of that slump that you're in. The first step to being able to get out of a slump is actually getting up because it's the hardest. Because every thought in your mind is telling you that you can't. I can't. There's no way. I've already let things go for so long. It's not even worth me trying. It's impossible. It's too much to tackle. And we all go through these points. So here's my advice to all of us, including myself. Get up. Just take the effort. Make that extra effort to just get up and do one thing. Only one thing, and only focus on that one thing. Because the moment that you accomplish it, the more likely you are to be able to go and accomplish more and accomplish more. When I was back in, and I think I may have shared this at some point on the Kindness Kickoff, so I apologize if I have, but I'll never forget a poem that I was given when I was in 3rd grade. It was by a resource room teacher. What's resource room? Well, basically, it was very, very difficult for me to learn. Really, really challenging. And I was taken out of my classroom with all my friends and put into a much smaller setting with just a few kids. And it made me feel very insecure, like, why can't I get it? Why can't I learn? Why can't I read? Why is it so hard for me? And I didn't like going to school. I would cry going to school. I didn't enjoy it because I wasn't good at it. And one day, the resource room teacher came into class and she gave us this poem. And she told us to decorate it. So I was 8 years old, and I took it and I put it on a piece of pink construction paper and I decorated it and I read it. And I have to tell you guys, the words of that poem have gotten me through many times in my life. The words of that poem stick with me till today. I was 8 years old. I still remember it by heart. And it's a poem by Walter D. Wintle. And it goes as follows. If you think you can't do it, you can't. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win, but think you can't, it's almost a cinch you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out in this world we find success begins with the fellow's will. It's all in a state of mind. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man. For sooner or later, the man who wins is the one who thinks he can. Such an important lesson. I got to tell you, I used this poem. I don't think I've ever shared this story. I was in 8th grade. I was graduating, going into high school. And before you go into high school, you have to take this high school entrance exam. I always was really bad at taking standardized exams. It was very hard for me. The pressure of time always got to me. And I was super nervous. I never did well. It was in my later years, in my middle school years, that suddenly school started becoming easier for me because of a teacher that helped sort of click things into place. And so my middle school years, I was doing really well in school. I was so nervous for the standardized exam going into high school because I knew I wasn't going to do great at it. And I knew that that exam wasn't a representation of my capacity to do well in class. And when I went in for a meeting with the principal of the high school, and they were looking at, it was called the BJE. They were looking at the BJE scores. They were looking at my grades. And he said to me, look, here's what I think. So there was an upper middle class, and then there was sort of a class right underneath it, a lower class. He said, I think that it will be better for you to be in that lower class because then you'll be able to flourish and succeed. And I looked at him straight in the eye and I repeated this poem to him, the one I just told you guys. And I said to him, you don't know me yet, but I'm very determined. And even though I know that maybe those marks don't show my capacity, not only are you going to put me in the higher class, I told him. I said, but I can guarantee you that by the end of the year, you're going to move me to the honors class. This is what I told him. I was in 8th grade. I'll never forget this. And he put me in that higher middle class. And by the end of the year, I went to the honors class. I was in the honors class for the rest of high school. Why am I sharing this? We have to bet more on ourselves. And the more that we think that we can, even if we get involved in doing something that might be a little bit difficult, but might be a little bit out of our comfort zone that we're not used to doing. Apologize for the noise in the background. The moment that you commit to saying, I can, so many powers around you help you actually to succeed. So that is my wish for all of us out there this week. Over the course of this week, bet on yourself a bit more. When you come to a challenge where you want to just sort of give up, or maybe you want to hit that snooze button, or maybe you know a friend of yours that wants to hit that snooze button and is stuck in a rut. Let's get ourselves up out of it. It's not easy, but just take one step. One step is all we need to do. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me for the weekly Kindness Kickoff. Hope you join me every Monday. Before we get off, I'm going to announce the winners. Couple of things. Number one, I'd love to ask each and every one of you for your support by simply clicking on subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would love to hear more from us. I do have a lot of videos that have been created that I've not uploaded yet. I'm trying to get things in order a bit, but I'm really excited to show you guys these next videos that are coming your way. And just hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate the support. Like I said, our website right now is down, so you won't be able to subscribe to our newsletters that we currently have, but I'm hoping that that's going to be changing within the next week or so. Now on to the winners. So before I mention and announce the winner for this month, I want to mention a couple of comments that were super, super sweet that came my way. All of them are super sweet. So I just want to thank each and every one of you. I've read all of them. I've not yet responded, but I will. One of the comments comes from Andrew Zhang, and I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. And he wrote, I love this channel so much because it is so inspirational. I've recently just found this channel and I'm already loving it. Thank you so much, Andrew. It really means a lot to me to know that the channel is making an impact for other people. And the other is coming from, the username is Wiley Racer. Hey, it's crazy that this was the lesson today. My friend just got out of juvenile detention and we were talking about this yesterday and how every person is so special and important. She's such an amazing person. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the lesson a day where I spoke about not gossiping. It was amazing talking to her and I love your videos. It makes every day so much better, especially with the Revolution of Love video, changed the way I looked at the world. I was homophobic and hateful, so thank you for everything. That was really very powerful and amazing for you to come forward and say what you said, Wiley Racer, so thank you for that. And now for the winner. So the winner for this month, for the 2 books of Kindness Boomerang, he's actually written before and I actually shouted him out on last month's video, is Johnny Lightning. Johnny, I love your comments. It really, really makes me so happy. One of the comments that he wrote, I'm just going to read out one of these comments. He wrote, nothing good ever comes from talking ill of others. There's an episode from VeggieTales that teaches this in a very comical but powerful way. It's called The Rumor Weed. When you want to gossip about someone, always put yourself in his or her shoes and thereby imagine how they'd feel about it. Very true. It's important for us to put ourselves in other people's shoes and recognize that the words that we say and that the choices that we make do in fact matter. So Johnny, thank you so much for your comments. Thanks so much for following along and for your support. We'd love to get you 2 copies of the Kindness Boomerang book. So all you need to do is shoot me a message either here on the YouTube channel or you could send me an email to Orly@LifeVestInside.com. Send me a message with the names that you want the books to be written out to and your address, and I'll get those out to you right away. So thank you all very much. Make sure you tune in every Monday for the weekly Kindness Kickoff. Leave your comments for another chance to win 2 copies of the book. Tune in for the very beginning of May when I'll be announcing it then. Thanks a lot, guys, and always remember, it's kindness that keeps the world afloat. Love you all. Mwah.